And we should be live. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Next Content Friday. Weeks are passing by like crazy. So, let's jump right into it and let's see what we did the last week and what I have today for you. So, let me share my screen with you. And these are the team features. I'm very excited because I just uploaded this to this device, to this computer, so I can show you something that's very fresh, something that I did not test extensively because it's I have it here maybe for like 5 or 10 minutes. So let me explain how this works and how this looks like. So first of all, this is the team features. You will be able to upload to get there here in your profile and team and go to the team section, and you can invite people to your team by sending them this link which you will have here. Okay, if for any reason you have to reset that link, for example, maybe someone received it in wrong hands or whatever, you can reset it to make it invalid and create new. But this is, from my perspective, probably the most easy and straightforward way to invite team members. So if you use, for example, Slack or some kind of team communication or chat or whatever, Microsoft Teams or Skype or, then you can just grab this link, send it to your colleagues, and they can join your team and start collaborating with you. So this is how it works. Just copy and paste this link. And what's good to keep in mind is that the default role is editor. What that means, you can change that behavior by clicking this change icon. And you can set, for example, admin, and admin can do everything that you can do, basically, as an owner of that team, okay? But admin cannot remove you from the team, obviously, and he can also modify other admins as well. Other than that, he can do everything as you, so he can create content, add new fries, potatoes, templates, anything. And basically, editor is the same role as admin, but he can't manage roles, okay? And he can't manage other users of your team. And viewer is for just looking purposes, so he can go into your team and watch the fries and maybe communicate then with you and maybe point some points in the potatoes or fries or whatever. So you can communicate as you are used to, and viewer can give you some ideas. Okay, so this is how the team features will work in the first version, and we will release that probably at Wednesday. That's the target. Definitely before the next Content Friday. Okay, my expectation was to release this basically a month ago, but the development just takes time, especially in summer. So it was kind of delayed. So I'm sorry about that, but finally this is coming out, and you'll be able to use this in your account as well. And depending on the membership that you have team slots and team spots, and we will continue to improve on the functions and add, for example, custom roles where you will be able to define exactly what permissions people have and what they can do. Maybe you just want to have some kind of copywriter role. And that's a person that is going into your Content account, and he is just proofreading all the transcription and stuff. So you'll be able to do that in the future version, but we will continue to update team features in Content 2.0. In the first version, it will be as it is here, because it's really crazy and super time consuming to develop two code bases separately. So to deliver to you what you need, this is the I would say, minimum viable version from my perspective. This is how it looks like when you receive some invitation. So when you send a link and someone clicks it, then he will see this kind of screen. He obviously needs to have a Content account. When he does not have any Content account, he just needs to register, and immediately, as soon as he logs in, he will see this, screen where he can accept the invitation or declines it, or decline the invitation. Okay, so it's super simple. Accept, decline. As soon as I hit accept, I will be a part of that team, and you will see me in under team members. As you can see, the team invitation has been accepted. Okay, so that's how team features basically works in the first version, and the release will be in the next week. And now, what I would like to share with you is a strategy or some kind of, behind the scenes, how I personally use Content and what I'm about to outsource to my assistant. And he basically knows this process, but it's good to, refresh upon it. So let's get to it, and let's see how I use and how I repurpose long form pieces of content in Content And for example, this is Content Fridays part 3, as you can see. So let me start from the beginning, and I will go to our YouTube channel, and I will grab a link, for example, of our second episode of Content Fridays. Okay, so I will just copy a link to it and then go to the wizard. And as you probably know, you can use a YouTube link in the uploader, which is super fast uploading method, and it is not using your bandwidth. So that's a great benefit of using YouTube links. And now let me say you something about this option right here, generate captions from content pieces automatically. When you uncheck that, basically it doesn't matter, but uncheck it only in case you don't have to use automatic transcriptions in generated fries, okay? Because when I hit finish, I will go to screen like this, and I will show you that in a moment. But when I generate and create fries, for example, from the timeline or by using this right here, as soon as I generate that, it will create fries, and those will not be automatically transcribed. If I keep this checked, if I keep this option checked, it will automatically transcribe the generated fries. So you can basically, this is a little bit confusing, and we need to work around that in the second version. So that's just something to keep in mind. So just remember, if you don't want to transcribe your generated fries, uncheck this. And also if you don't want to, or if you want to generate transcription for the potato, it doesn't matter if you keep this checked or not, okay? And when I click finish, it will basically just finish that. And then I can choose if I want to transcribe my video or paste transcription manually or upload SRT or VTT subtitles or whatever. Okay, so then you just have to do this. And in this video, I checked this. I chose transcribe whole video. So this is the transcription. I will not do it in this video because it takes a few minutes to complete. And now the fun begins. Okay, so the first step that I do is that I remove silence. Let me remove all these fries that I randomly just showed you. And the first stuff is that I remove silence. Okay, and I use these predefined settings by default. Okay, but in case you, for example, have some kind of workflow where you are recording, let's say 10, 15 or whatever, or maybe 50 pieces of content in a bulk in one recording, then you can do something like you just add a pause between pieces of content. And this can really help you quickly separate different pieces of content. So when you use some workflow, like for example, content multiplier formula, it functions, it works a lot with a recording session, with a recording day. Okay, that means you and your team go together and you go to your studio or whatever, and you have everything prepared. You have points, you have headlines of your pieces of content, and you are just recording one video after another. And in this case, this is extremely useful. For example, you know you are recording everything on one shot, okay? And you finish recording and you add this kind of silence to the video by purpose, okay? And you just be quiet for, I don't know, 10 seconds or whatever. And then when you do that, you can increase this threshold to, for example, 5 seconds, and you will immediately see the different pieces of content in your long session, in your long video session. Okay, and you can split and cut all the pieces of content individually by using this simple tip, this simple strategy. In this case, this is not a recording session of content multiplier formula or something like that. This is just a usual Content Fridays video. And in this case, I like to remove all the silent pauses or the silent moments that have half a second or longer. Okay, so as you can see, by doing this, I immediately save 60 seconds of, just silence. So hit finish, and it will create all these cutouts for me automatically. Okay, the second step that I like to do is that I remove disfluencies. This is ahs and ohs and stuff like that. That's something that I do a lot because I'm not a native speaker. And as you can see, now I have 219 disfluencies with total duration of another 75 seconds. That's amazing. And if you use Content Fries for different language, this disfluencies list is basically, these specific disfluencies are detectable only in English. Okay, but if you use a different language and you don't want to have some specific words in that transcription or whatever, you can write them down here, and Content Fries will remove them out of the video and out of the transcription as well. So when I click finish, all the transcriptions will be removed, and as you can see now, I have a lot of these cutouts, okay, or chunks that will be, excluded from the final video, from the generated fries. When I zoom in, as you can see, here is some silent moment, here is some disfluencies, stuff like that. So I can check that if I'm happy with the results. Okay, for example, if I'm really extremely detail oriented, I would probably move this to something like this. So some minor manual adjustments, you can do that if you want, but from my perspective, that's not necessary. But if you really want to, have your disfluencies perfectly removed, or there are times when the disfluency is not completely, it's maybe a couple of milliseconds left of the disfluency, it's not in the transcription, but it is kept in the final video. It happens sometimes. This is something that we receive from third parties, so we are unable to improve on that detection mechanism. But as I told, you can really manually modify that. But always remember 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle. This is not something that would distract your visitors or viewers, and something that they would consider your content to be useless, okay, because there is some minor disfluency left in the video. That's not the decision maker, okay. The content itself is the most important part of the the message that you are spreading, the content, if it's valuable or not. That's the most important part of content creation. Not if there is some minor difference here left. We don't have to be perfectionist. Okay, so that's my perspective. But if you want to, you can modify that manually if there is something that you have to adjust. Okay, so that's the first two steps, and I was speaking a lot, but as you can see, remove silence and remove disfluences can be done in 30 seconds. Okay, really fast and simple. Next step that I like to do is, for example, as you can see here is some kind of typo or Lucas, okay? And I am Lucas with K, not C. Okay, so I can search on replace and search for this and replace it with something like this. And also when I want, I can, for example, get all these content fries and replace that with content fries, okay? And replace all. And this will replace all the searches in the document, in the transcription, and fix that, okay? So I don't have to fix all the typos or frequent typos manually. I can use the search and replace feature and do it in a bulk, okay? Do it really fast. And now what I would like to do is that I just skim through the transcription and find some meaningful and valuable parts, meaningful and valuable chunks that I can compress into, bite-sized pieces of content for social media, our beloved content fries, and also some kind of, golden nuggets that I can turn into quote cards. So in the first scenario, I just skim through the transcription. I will not do it in this case because it would be, too long to show that, but I just read the transcription, and when I find something interesting, I just add a couple of lines, couple of empty lines, and then I'm detecting the end of that, okay? And let's just say here starts the first interesting part, okay? And it ends somewhere around here, or maybe somewhere around here. It can also end in the middle of the block. So I can add additional spaces like this, and I will rinse and repeat this process from the beginning to the end. And then when I am done, I just add some note to my assistant that will proofread the transcription and fix this below, for example, and name it, content fries in practice or something like that, something that I can keep as a reference. And what that means is that he doesn't have to, proofread this part, because I will not use it anywhere. I don't plan to use it. It is just some kind of introduction. It is not, turnable into separate piece of content. So I will skip it. I will leave it as it is, and my assistant will just fix all the pieces of content that are necessary to fix. Okay, and when, for example, this is also not usable part, I can add some note for him, like skip this, and then again, okay, fix this below and name it whatever, okay? So you got the point, and this is how he can really quickly fix all the pieces of content and all the transcriptions and the text, and then he just copy and drag and drop on the text and hit create new fry, and he names it as I want him to name it. Okay, so this is how it works, and this is super simple workflow that you can implement in your content creation, and you will save time, because all of a sudden you don't have to proofread all all the transcription. You just proofread parts that you are interested in. Okay, so this is how you can do something like this, and you do it from the beginning to the end. And if you don't want to be, a part of a process like this, keep it all to your assistant. Okay, he can find himself all the interesting parts, and maybe just trust him. He has a, or maybe do 2 or 3 long form pieces of content with him, so he can get a better feeling of what's the most important and most valuable parts of long form piece of content, and then keep him do his work. So that's how you can do it as well. And when everything is done, he just use templates. If we want, we use this template a lot. That's why it is on the first place. And then just clicks generate. Everything will then be generated in your dashboard, in your fry section, and then you can work with those fries as you're used to, and add them headlines and stuff, export them and publish them anywhere you want. So this is the process that you can use if you want to, or get inspired by it or whatever. I just wanted to share it with you guys, something that's a little bit of the background of Content Fries. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Let me see if there is something. Sound the alarm. Yeah, I was just preparing a cup of water and spit in case I found some kind of bug. So that's something that I was doing back in the day when Content Fries was really early, and maybe I will get back to it as we are developing Content Fries 2.0, but I believe it will be much more fluent, user-friendly, better, and the target really is to create something that's 10 times better as it is currently. So I'm looking forward to it. You have no idea. And what is really great, let me switch back to my webcam. And what is really great is that I forgot the point. Okay, I wanted to tell you something, but yeah, this is it. We are finishing basically the theme features. Okay, so that's coming out really soon, in this week that it's upcoming. And then the last thing that we are about to implement in the current Content Fries version is video layers. That means you will be able to add videos or GIFs into your videos, and that feature is, it's interesting. It's challenging to implement, but the current code base is not very suitable to add something like that. But fortunately, that's the last thing that we will add to Content Fries 1.0. Okay, and after that, Content Fries 1.0 will be, I think, this and the next year, simultaneously with 2.0 to your disposal anytime you want, and you will be able to use it as long as you want, and switch to 2.0 when you are ready, when it is ready, and whatever. And that's basically the last feature that we will add to 1.0. But 2.0, we will add features like text to video, which is inspired heavily by Vidnami. That's basically gone currently. It was acquired by GoDaddy. And then features like video merger, where you will be able to merge not only fries and potatoes and videos together, but also combine it with images and stuff. And that's also I would say 50 to 60% done, and the text to video feature is like, I would say probably 70% done. Then everything like this will be basically a recipe. You will pick a recipe and do whatever you want with your content, and we have to migrate, context editor, the trimmer, the content multiplier, quote generator. By the way, quote generator will have additional templates and stuff like you will be able to generate a quote card that looks like a tweet or a screenshot from a notes app, or you can do that by hand. You can write that tweet, you can write notes in the notes app and screenshot that. But the benefit of quote generator will be it will generate those for you automatically in a bulk from your quotes library or from random quotes or whatever. And that's just scratching the surface, because those are just some templates that will be there, but there will be also abstract background and many different visuals and layouts for your quotes cards. Also different aspect ratio, not only square 1:1 as it is now. And one thing that I'm really looking forward is also carousel generator. That means create that kind of carousel swipe images on Instagram, and combine all of these with planning features, scheduling features, where you will be able to post your content directly from Content to Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and other social media as well. And the output of that is something that's really 10 times, at least 10 times better than what the Content currently is. So I'm very excited by this vision and by what the future holds for us. And we are in the process of hiring a new assistant, not assistant, but developer, and the team is growing. And, that's great. So I'm really happy with the progress. A lot of things are happening in the background. So I feel like the last Content Friday was yesterday. So that's just something that I would share with you guys as well. And I'm happy that today's Content Friday was really fluent, and it was not lagging like the last time. It was probably lagging because of the iPad that I had connected. So I have to see why was that happening. And that's all from me. Let me see if there are some questions. I don't see any. Thank you very much, guys, for your trust, for your support. I'm super happy about that. And we are doing the best our best to deliver a tool for you that can save you as much time as possible, so you can spend it elsewhere. So you can spend it on, more with your family, more on, more revenue-driven task on your business or whatever. And you can be rest assured that you have your content on all social media that you are interested in. My camera exploded, so that's a signal that I should stop the recording, as as my friend just mentioned in the comments, sound the alarm. So that's all today, and stay awesome, and I see you next time. Also, enjoy your weekend, guys.